EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, January 30th and 31st, 2021. We have a major winter storm that's going to be heading toward the region, and for that reason, we went into storm mode just before midnight last night. So we are now in storm mode for the foreseeable future for the storm that's coming at us. But this is going to be coming in on Sunday evening, so we have some time before it gets here, and we have mostly sunny skies expected today with cold conditions. Many places will stay below freezing again today, but the winds will not be an issue like they were on Friday. Very cold wind chills on Friday will not be seen today. Just a slight breeze out of the northwest, 7 to 12 miles per hour. Not as bad if you're outdoors today as compared to Friday. But tonight we're going to have partly cloudy skies early. They'll become mostly cloudy overnight. And then we have this storm system that's going to be moving toward the region on Sunday. I don't think this is going to be one of those deals where it's coming in early. I think you're going to have basically an evening start for most areas. Okay, in the far southwestern areas, it might start as early as late afternoon, and it's going to come in two waves. All right, we talked about this in the last couple of videos here, the last couple of days. You have a primary system moving into the Ohio Valley, and it's going to redevelop to a secondary over the Carolinas, and then move northeastward from there. So with this initial push of air, since we have antecedent cold air in place prior, we're not waiting for cold air to catch up to it, and hopefully it gets there in time. It's already here. We have high pressure sitting over the top, so there's plenty of cold. Even though this primary low is creating a warm air advection situation at first with the initial burst of snow, and you can see that here. That initial burst comes in, but then once you get the transfer overnight on Sunday night to the coastal, there might be a little bit of a dry slot coming here. And a little bit of warm air advection with the lighter precip might allow the southern areas temporarily, very temporarily, to mix with other precipitation types and not just remain all snow. Further north, I don't think you have an issue. Right down here in south central PA, several models are indicating that both a dry slot and some warm air advection with that lighter precip at that time while this transfer is taking place, that could change it over to sleet, maybe a little bit of light freezing rain or drizzle in those far southern areas. That's just going to be temporary, though. This is going to go back over to snow once this takes over. And that will do so here on Monday. And you can see that change right here. Okay, so this is looking at early afternoon on Monday. Might have some of that lingering into Monday morning for those southern areas with that mixed precip. But then we get going here on Monday, and we could have some heavy snow developing here over parts of the region. And we actually have what the early indications of what is going to be you got this conveyor, I can't even think of it, cold conveyor belt. I couldn't think of what the acronym stood there for a minute. It's late. It's been a long day, folks. A cold conveyor belt going around this area of low pressure. And this is typical of a coastal system. It's basically very heavy snow that falls under an area of rapidly rising motion in this column, which is in between these lines here. So you get a very heavy snowfall wherever this band sets up. Now, we don't know exactly where this is going to set up just yet, but the trends have been, for those models that were trending southeast, and everybody thought, oh, okay, here we go, it's going to end up trending to nothing, and we're going to miss out. Those models that were southeast have now come northwest over the last couple runs, or getting back to what the GFS has really been trying to sell this entire time. GFS has been the most consistent. Not saying it's definitely right, but it's been the most consistent with very minimal moving around over the past day or two. So this is kind of like where the middle ground is right now with the GFS, and you get this cold conveyor belt wrapping around this low pressure, and then finally this starts to pull east and you taper off at some point Monday night or maybe very early Tuesday morning with some leftover light snow showers, and that pulls away. The NAM coming in this evening is very similar in evolution. Again, it's going to be a two-part thing. So you have this coming in late afternoon in southwestern areas, but more likely evening further northeast is coming in as snow. And then when you get a little bit of a lull, you see it's turning lighter now. You get a little bit of a transfer going on here, so you get this dry slot coming in the middle here. And where the precipitation is turning lighter, you're getting some frozen precipitation across northern Maryland, south central Pennsylvania. The NAM is showing that well as well. Okay, you see that gets all the way up to the Harrisburg area, maybe even up to Reading. Okay, so it gets up pretty far north. This is mainly sleet, but it's such light precip that you're able to get that warm air advection to change it over to other precipitation types. But then you see that goes back over to snow, and then after that point, you get this cold conveyor belt going right across the middle of our right down the middle of our coverage area here. So again, the NAM is thrilled with that idea. The GFS is thrilled with that idea. The Canadian is thrilled with that idea. The European model is trending toward that idea. Okay, it's been kind of wobbling back and forth, and everybody wanted to jump ship because the European model decided to head southeast and pretty much shaft most of the interior locations. Well, now it's starting to move back northwest again. At the time this video was recorded, just after midnight on Saturday. So that's what that's showing. The European model is, again, it came northwest from where it was, and you're now getting snow much farther north than what you were seeing before, and it does show the semblance of a cold conveyor belt, but this is a little bit further southeast yet. Again, it's the consensus right now is a little bit further northwest of this, but at least the European model is trending in that direction. Again, as of the latest run here, which I have is 18Z, it kind of takes it through central New Jersey, over the Philadelphia area, Philadelphia metro, suburbs, in those areas. That's the areas it wants to target right now, but that could certainly change and pivot. And, we're only talking about a difference of a couple miles here, maybe 25 miles difference between what the European model shows and a consensus of the others. So we have some playing around to do with this yet, and we're going to have a call map out at 4 p.m. today. I announced that when we went over to the storm mode just before midnight on Friday night. So we are now in storm mode. The call map, the official call that we are going to be confident putting out ranges with of snow is going to be at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Now, here's the differences of why we're seeing some difference here. Just looking out in the North Atlantic, Pennsylvania is right over here, New Jersey. We have this upper level low that was over top of us yesterday. Brought those windy conditions, at least early on. That has now moved out in the Northern Atlantic out here. Actually, it's up here. This is an extension of it. But there's a vorticity extension arm that sits out here like this. This is actually where an area of confluence exists. And this is where the European model has it. Look where the position is here. Okay, and this is why it's further south. This is not as far south as it was before. Before, it was all the way down here. Okay, those runs I showed you last night, if you watched the video, was all the way down there. So it did move significantly northeast from where it was, and that's why you're seeing that shift to the northwest with the European run. But look at the difference between this and the GFS. When I move these back and forth, this is the European model. Pay attention to where I just outlined that area. GFS is further north, and that's why you're coming up further north with the GFS solution. European, GFS. So this kind of makes all the difference here, because that secondary now has room to breathe and come further north, and then it can bring more snow further north in this situation. So don't know if we're done trending northwest. That could still occur, and there's going to be some slight shifts that we're going to have between now and the time we release our map call at 4 o'clock, but we will have the latest and greatest at that point for you, just to give you an idea what the GFS ensembles are going and where they're honing in on for the highest areas of snow. Again, don't pay attention to these amounts, because this is a blended mean of 30 members, and it's also at a 10-to-1 ratio. But this is the general area where it wants to hit the hardest. And it's been consistently showing these kind of same areas here getting hit pretty hard. So, that's the area we're kind of honing in on right now. Doesn't mean it will be that by the time we get to 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. This has the opportunity to shift a little bit more this way. I don't think it's going to be a major shift at this point. It's probably going to be a slight shift from here on out. Or it might shift a little bit further southeast back toward 995. Very possible. Okay, so this is just a preliminary look, just to give you an idea. But these are, and don't pay attention to these amounts, because it's a smooth down mean here. A lot of these snow maps that are being printed out are putting out some 16, 18, 20 plus inch amounts in some spots. Not saying we're going to get that exactly, but or that we'll even go that high on our map. But there are certainly some models indicating that. But snow maps don't make, our models don't make our snow maps, though, so that has nothing to do with it. We're looking at soundings and a lot of different things that are going into this, and do a kind of a model blend of what we feel is the best model of choice, our models of choice, and kind of blend them together, get an idea with the consensus of our team. So we'll have that out at 4 o'clock today, and we will have another video Sunday morning. It will be the Weather Weeklies video. I'm going to concentrate highly on this system here, not only because it was a long-range signal that we've had for weeks, that looks like it's coming to fruition, and we've gone to storm mode. It's coming. Okay, it's not. We don't just take that lightly. So a storm mode with that particular banner means that we're going to have a widespread area of seeing 12 inches or more, but it's not specific where yet. That's going to be on our snow map. But look for that at 4 o'clock today, and the Weather Weeklies video on Sunday. I'll spend a lot of time on this particular storm here, and then any future signals that we have going forward into February. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for the weekend, January 30th and 31st, 2021. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.